Welcome. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to Good Vibe Sunday, where we feature female entrepreneurs, female brands that are passionate about what they do. We want to spread empowerment and positivity. This is a way for you to learn something new, have fun with us, chill out. It's just a vibe out, guys. It doesn't matter if you have never tried something before, if you've never heard of what we're going to discuss today. It's just to simply lift our spirits. So without further ado, I want to bring Shampaigne on. She is the founder and CEO of Bold Bates Code. She is someone who is passionate about helping women stay in business. So we're going to bring her on and I'm going to have her share all her valuable wisdom with you guys. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Joe. Okay, I am so honored to be here. I love all of the work that you're doing and the impact you're making in the world. And I'm really excited about this presentation, guys. This is one of my signature talks. And before we get started and I introduce all of the things that I do, I kind of want to start off with like a little bit of a thought exercise. So, as you guys know, the presentation is called Failing Up, and it's all about innovation in women-owned businesses. So, thought exercise is, I want y'all to think about your very first experience with failure. And I'm not talking about in your business. I'm talking about in life. Period. Okay?
Drop them in the comments, guys.
Yeah, okay, so just to set a scene for you guys, developmental psychology says that, you start to experiment and all of those kinds of things when you're about toddler age, right? So around that 1 to 4 age, you're really excited about the world. You're curious. You're wanting to mimic the adults around you. And what is one of the most common tasks that your parental figures are doing with you or around you? So people can maybe shout out some things. I know for growing up in my house, one thing that was super common was my mom is kind of OCD about cleaning. I'm being so serious. So every Saturday morning it was tradition for her to clean and mop, and I would try to mimic her mopping and things like that. And so yeah, I kind of want to get your juices flowing so you guys can kind of really dive deep, because this is really something that is definitely just as spiritual as it is involving strategy. So
love it.
I want to know.
You guys should be following on this exercise, whether you're jotting it down, leaving it in the comments. So let me I guess something that for my parents, for me, because I'm Chinese, when you're newborn, you have to eat an egg every day. It's like a weird cultural thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we eat an egg every day. That was mine, I guess.
That's awesome. Okay, so it's funny, the first time I gave this presentation, one of the most common things that the women said that they tried to mimic and failed at when they were a child was pouring milk, you see? And the first thing that a kid, we all have
that big fat milk jug,
that big fat milk jug, and they're little tiny fingers just juggling, trying to, and we're off onto the side. If you're a parental figure of some kind of sort, you understand that moment seems minute to others, but it's really pivotal to your child in learning and growing and being independent and doing things for themselves, right? And so based on your parents' reaction, that probably has a lot to do with how you feel about failure today, and it's affecting your business, sweetheart. So we're going to explore that, okay? We're going to
That is so powerful, guys. I just want to stop you real quick, that you just show us how important our interaction and our, when we're babies, how that gets ingrained literally into our mindset, and we carry it with us right now till we're grown-ups.
Yes, it's so true. And we are more like our parents than we think.
Yes.
Especially if we do not get help from professionals, outside professionals, to break some pathologies and some habits within us. That is something that we kind of carry with us, especially as women.
That's right.
Yeah, we carry this feeling with us. So, think about that. It's not something you have to dive deep into right now. But I want you guys to get your juices flowing and thinking about, that very first experience with failure. And think about your business now, right? And we're going to break down how that affects your decisions.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on.
Yes. Wow.
Okay.
That is so powerful, guys.
Yeah. How did your parent react when you spilled the milk? That definitely lets you know how, you kind of feel about failure. Okay, now
and I want to tell you real quick that for me, my parents yelled at me. They were very critical for me, and I see that in myself, that I am my worst critic. Most people are.
Yeah, and it's so true. My parents were very, very strict. I can tell you that my parents were kind of perfectionists. So if I couldn't do it right, they just didn't want me to do it.
They didn't want you to do it. Wow.
They were just like, let me just like stand off to the side and watch. Like, don't attempt it until you can like do it right and be of use, right? So I was always taught in business that I can't jump until I know every single thing, until I've seen enough people do it right to make that leap. And a lot of women feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to introduce myself and all of the things. Okay, so I am the founder and CEO everything for Bold Babes Co. We are a collaborative platform that helps millennial women start and stay in business. Recently, we were called the SBA for millennials, and I think that is right on for what we do. We provide amazing resources. We provide amazing events that have completely switched to and pivoted to a virtual platform, and most of all, we connect you with people. Okay. Other than that, I'm a psychology-based marketeer. I'm currently in my master's program for psychological sciences, and psychology is everything to me. I love it so much because it helps me learn more about people, and the more I know about people, the better I can serve them. The better I can serve them, the better I can sell to them. The better I can sell to them, the better I can get strategy to help others do that too. Okay, and then I think the best part of me is I am a master failure, you guys. I mean, like, your girl has tried it all and fallen straight on her face. And that's why I'm super passionate about taking the knowledge that I've learned during those failures and passing it on to the Bold Babes community. And one of the super cool things that we have going on right now is we have our Bold Babes guides, which are literally all of the guides from my past failures in the business during the first year. And they're in their beta phase. So right now they're only like $3 up to $5 at most. And really, we just want you guys to have that material, give us your input and all of that other good stuff. But we're going to move on and talk about how we can, you know, more than anything, break that failure mindset. And most of all, I'm talking to the women that have actually invested money or sweat equity into their business. And it felt like they have just lost it. Like, I know I am so guilty of doing this. Like, I will like be like, I'll wake up one morning and I'll be like, oh my God, I have the best idea in the world, and I'll launch it. Crickets. And then I'll pull it away and never market it again. Or I have the best idea in the world and I'll start it and I won't finish it. Or I have the best idea in the world and it just stays the best idea in the world in my head. And you know, I think that we all go through that cycle. And I'm telling you, the best idea in the world is the best idea in the world if you follow through with it. Okay?
Woo, that's powerful. If this is no good to the world, if it stays in your head.
Yes. Okay. So a little bit more about me. I started my business with $20, guys. So yeah, broke. Anyways, I'm very real too, by the way. Like I don't try to be anything other than me, and I'm very real. I started my business with $20. So what that allowed me to do, it allowed me to be hungry. So I knew I had to put sweat equity into my business. I didn't have the thousands of dollars in startup money. So I knew I had to bust my ass in order to get the press that I got within the first 6 months, to get the partnerships that I landed within the first 6 months of my business, to get the team of 10 that I acquired through the internship program that I had in the first 6 months of my business. Also, that sounds amazing, right? That sounds so great. Like $20. Yeah, who knew that $20 could get you that? But let me tell you what else it got me. It got me no direction. It caused me to start and stop projects, which I talked about. But more than anything, it burnt me the hell out, guys. And I had no strategy. And I just didn't know where to go next. I would start something, and anything that was a success for me, I was really excited about it. And the minute that the excitement fizzled for other people, I stopped caring. As if that was my business.
Yes.
Like, I kind of want to rewind on that. When people don't say something about your business post
or your launch,
or something like that, that's not something about you. That doesn't mean that you're a failure at that. Okay?
Say that again. Say that again for the cheap seats in the back, girl.
It has nothing to do with you.
That's right.
And everything to do with the fact that you're not talking to the right people.
Mm.
All right. Or you're not talking to the people in the right way. Now, we're going to talk about that. So yeah, needless to say, y'all, shit hit the fan, and I dropped out of my business for about 6 months because I was so burnt out. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
Like, I was just, I just wasn't taking calls. I wasn't doing emails. I was hiding. I was afraid of the thing that I loved so much, that I was so passionate about. How could that have been? That was so crazy for me. And the thing is that I want people to understand that you can be crazy passionate about something and have it really, burn you out, really suck you dry.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Anything. If you don't have the right strategy,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how much the world need it, you will fall flat on your face.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I knew I had to change something, right?
Right.
I knew I had to change something, y'all. And I want to give you guys a little bit of a snapshot before my business. And I know it's a little bit of a glare there, but like it's kind of a really squiggly line. I don't know if you guys can see it better on the laptop, but yeah, like that is a snapshot of my business before my burnout. It was all over the place. It was a hot ass mess, you guys. I was doing all of the things.
Yeah.
And none of it was going anywhere. And that's something that had a lot to do with my insecurity. You see what I'm talking about with the spirituality piece? I was insecure. And while I was silent and I saw other people getting opportunities and I saw other people doing things that I felt like that should be me, that could be me, I was jealous. I had all of the green monsters, but I was lazy as hell. And I just was complaining and doing nothing.
Wow. Right. Because now you shift it into the mindset of what's wrong with what I put out.
Mm-hmm.
You, instead of seeing the value in what you do have and that it just didn't go to the right people.
Yes. Okay. Now I want to give you guys a snapshot of my business after my burnout. So you see, it's a little bit like up and down again, probably like that one, but it has some direction. You see, it has a rhyme and a reason now, guys. And that is so, so important. And I'm going to break down my rhyme and my reason. And the most magical part about it, y'all, I didn't have to create any new content. I didn't have to get a new website. I didn't have to break shit down and build it all the way back up again. I didn't have to spend that much more money.
Yeah. Wow. So what exactly did you do? Now I'm curious.
Okay. Gotta see that. Okay, so here's what changed, y'all. I did my research. I did research on how our audience responded to our old projects. This is gonna take some time, y'all. And here's the thing that a lot of people get caught up in their business in. They feel like they gotta be doing this 24/7 in order for their people to stay engaged. But here's the goal with it. And I'm sorry, my neighbor's like doing the most in his house right now, renovating. But here's the goal with this. You should be so influential, so impactful for your tribe that they should be waiting patiently for you. Patiently for you to say something. Because they know that once when you do open your mouth, it's going to be something that's just going to like completely switch everything around for them. So I took the time, and my time honestly was about 3 to 5 months. And I just went back to our Google Drive, which is where we keep all of our files. And I looked at every single project that we did. And I went back to our communication platforms and I audited it. I looked at every comment. I looked at every like, every love. I looked at our recommendations. I looked at what people were responding to. Okay.
Love it. So so basically you took a deep dive into what worked for your business, which is a lot of times as a business owner, I've done it before. We ignore completely what actually works because we're so busy pushing out the next new thing.
Yes.
Great.
And the reason why we get caught up in that is because it's social media culture. And like, I love social media. I think it's awesome. I started my business on social media. Like, I continue to thrive on social media. It's great. But here's the best thing you can do for social media. Automate the hell out of that and get somebody to work your engagement for you so that you're showing up for a limited amount of time so that you can go back to the important work of creating a system in your business so that you can thrive within it. And that's just what works for me personally. Personally, that really works for me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with delegating, and
No, there's not. And you can't be a leader if you can't delegate.
that's exactly it. If you and the reason why, and that is so real, and the reason why that's real is it's because that just means that you're not an effective communicator. You're not an effective communicator. If you can't get 10 different people to understand one concept as a leader, and that's your job, leading is teaching.
That's right.
Teachers have to do that with their students every single day. No kid learns the same way. And I'm sure parents are understanding that currently. Like, yes.
More than ever now, right?
Yes, more than ever now. Like, you understand that, if you really dive deep into it, there are different types of ways that people sink in and have that information really stick with them. But you just have to figure out your type and experiment and innovate and not be afraid to innovate. Okay, which brings me to the next part. Okay, so based on that research, here's the not spending money part. I narrowed down the functions of my business based off of the trends and the patterns I saw and what people wanted from us. And I took all of our old projects, added a little bit of new value, rebranded, remarketed.
Love it.
Okay? And then here's the most important part, because I always say that the issue is 10% the product or service and 90% the marketing. So if you want to tweak things up, look at the marketing first and play with your marketing, innovate with your marketing. And if you're a small business, the best thing that you can do is get a social media scheduling software.
Yep.
Take, your content and play around with a couple of different captions.
Yes.
And see how your audience responds to those different captions. Take a caption, put some different content to it, see how your audience responds to that. Because guess what? That's what the big marketing firms are doing. But that's what you need to do for your small business. This is just thinking big. That's all this is. This is the reason why large corporations are willing to sink millions of dollars before they launch a product into market research.
Yes.
Because they know they'll get that money back.
Yeah.
You're always going to get your money back if you take the right steps.
That's right. And do the research.
Exactly.
This is so important. When you say pouring back into your business, I think people usually think that in the sense of like ads and things like that. And yes, there's a place for that. But just like you said, going back and reviewing what's working is and just paying the money for the market research, right?
And okay, so if you don't want to pay money for market research, go to our profile and check out our latest posts. It is a market research 101, and literally you will not have to spend any money, no money, and you can start doing market research.
And make sure you after this video, go to your website, take a screenshot, and tag us, so this way we can share it.
Yes, definitely, because I really, really, really want you guys to enact these strategies and let me know how it works for you. Because honestly, I know you guys. If you're watching, you're a creator. And so there's no reason why you cannot be utilizing those things to make profit, whether you're doing it upfront or upfront and just profiting off of that, or it's something that you're utilizing to nurture a lead to get a bigger package sold down the line. Okay. So I created an automated sales process, and that's the biggest thing that changed for me. Y'all.
Wow.
Do your research on your email marketing software. Do your research on your email marketing software.
We were talking about this last week at my team meeting. It's so
do your research.
Yeah.
I will give you all the plug if you use my referral code, okay? Because first of all, it's so inexpensive, and I'll link the plugin in our stories for my referral code. But Get Response is everything, y'all. And let me tell you why. I'm gonna break it down. Not only do you get email marketing.
Okay.
You get a webinar function for up to 100 attendees. Wow. And what it is so amazing is you can preload your presentations. You can preload any YouTube videos you want to show. You can make up to 4 people host. And
that's
you can
amazing.
Monetize that on the front end or the back end. It is everything. And the best part for me is they have automated funnels. So
they built it for you.
They build it for you. All you have to do is put your branding there and put your copy right there. Honey, it's done. honey, it's done for
We're
you.
definitely wanting to know who this
Yes.
supplement is.
Yes, and I'm going to give you the plug for it
Yes.
because it is amazing. And with that, you get $30 off your first month. Currently, I only pay $59 a month for it for up to 2,500 subscribers. And like that comes with all of those features plus more. I'm not even using the full capacity of the software. And so, you know, these people understand and have worked in these large marketing firms and understand that that's what they do.
Right.
And they pay about $36,000 for a funnel for like one product. So one demographic.
Wow.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got money for that. All right. So we're going to utilize the deals that are around us because as small business owners, again, don't be lazy with your business. Do your research. There are tools around you. Okay, so we're gonna like break a few things down. Okay, so here's the cool part about us, guys. We are small businesses. We get to innovate. What is so awesome about us is that we get to innovate, y'all. It is so cool. Take advantage of that. You get to do cool. Like, what makes you think that you like have to stay so rigid? Now is the time for you to be experimenting in your business.
Yes.
If you have dreams to be large in a large corporation, don't you understand that comes with more rules? You have to like go through 20,000 people before you can even change like the font color or the font script on like.
Oh, I remember those days.
Okay, like, and you want your business to be that. Experiment and have your fun now. These are the best. You know, people tell you about high school or college. These are the best years of your life. These are the best years of your life in your business. Innovate.
When you're still like smaller and newer, you can make changes and pivot so much easier than you can later on down the line. Very great advice. Very great advice.
Yes. Okay. Be unapologetic about that too. Okay.
Yes.
That's how that works. Be unapologetic about tweaking your marketing. And here's the big thing, guys. Here's the biggest thing ever. Pricing is marketing.
Yes.
So if you want to play around with a couple of different prices, like every quarter, I mean, I wouldn't do anything crazy like a new price every week or anything, but I'm saying like every quarter, try out a new pricing model or something like that. That's like pretty reasonable just to test out your audience. That's market research and see what they respond to. Because I want to do a little market research on you guys. We're all on Facebook, I am sure. And one thing that I get a lot of because I'm a designer is I get ready-made template stuff always coming into my feed. And every time I see that ad, it's a new price point. It's a new price point for the same exact stuff. Because they are doing market research and trying to see what price are people responding to the most. Okay. And then last but not least, determine who your spokesperson is for your brand and come up with a visibility strategy for them. Now, this is going to be something that I really want to speak to women of color about, okay? Now, I love all of my sisters, not just my CIS sisters, but all of my sisters, okay? I love all of you guys. But I'm speaking to my women of color because this has been told to me. I choose to be the spokesperson for my brand. But when I first started Bold Babes, I was told by my family that I should pick, quote unquote, a white girl to be the spokesperson of my brand and for me to be behind the scenes doing the work. Now, this is a personal choice of mine, and you have to understand that, again, this is where spirituality comes into it, because I feel like God has personally stewarded me to lead this.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And I don't feel like that my vision could be properly enacted through somebody else.
That's right.
I make sure that I keep a lot of diversity in our feed. I keep a lot of diversity in the events that we hold and things like that. And I'm very strategic about that because diversity means so much to me and all of those things. But this is part of your strategy, and you have to understand that this may help or hurt you. And you're just going to have to make some tough decisions about that. Some people will never like you if you choose to be the spokesperson of your own brand, no matter the vision behind it, no matter the mission behind it. Okay? Moving forward.
But can I just add something? I think that's a really great point. And you know, as a minority woman, I want to say what you just shared is so brave. Because, you know, me coming from a Chinese background and being an immigrant myself, my family we had those discussions as well, right? And I think that when we show up and have these authentic conversations like this, even though it may not be the prettiest thing to share, it really is putting light into an issue that we all need to speak up about. We don't have to look the exact same way for us to show up as beautiful and confident. We can be purple and blue. Our hair can be all different ways. What's really important at the end of this is that we have to believe that we're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have that foundation that we are not good enough to step into what God has called us to do, we have nothing.
Exactly.
So thank you for sharing that. And I hope other women who are listening to this to know that you were more than equipped to do what you're called to do.
And you surely are. And people will tell you about it too. And here's the thing, it's a decision that you have to make. I chose to make this decision for myself, and there's no shame in choosing somebody else to be your spokesperson, but having a very strong voice in your copy and the content that you put out and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I felt like God was calling me specifically to be the head of and the steward of this mission. So I wanna do a little quote from somebody I super admire. Okay, so not taking failures personally allows us to recover and even to thrive. And this is by Sheryl Sandberg. She is a leader and activist as well as the COO of Facebook. And one thing that she has gone through that I can really relate to is that she lost her first husband in a very tragic way, and she has always been really outspoken about being vulnerable and still being a strong woman in business. And that's so awesome. And here's another thing that I want to address here too. Always taking accountability for intersectionality. What are people going through when they're going through it while you're trying to serve them? Yeah. Always think about that, because you can sit down and have these client profiles and client avatars and all of those good things, but that is thrown out the window when a life altering event happens to this person. Yeah, that's right. But they still need your service. They still need your product. They still need your solution. Yeah. How do you speak to them? And we're going through that right now. With the COVID-19. This is the perfect time to talk about this. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So I'm going to go through all of these strategies really super quick. Okay, so auditing your failed projects. I know that people are kind of wondering about how I did that. So you're going to have to take the time to look at it with fresh eyes. And even if you need somebody else to look at your failed projects for you, go ahead and do it. Pay them a little bit of money to sit down and look at it project by project and give you some really honest feedback. Something that I really invest in is Google Form surveys. Don't ask people to give their opinion. If you need some specific hard facts and numbers, ask them to look over a project for you, then fill out a survey. That is straight and to the point, okay? That's a great point. Okay, and then you need to figure out the following questions, what patterns are appearing? How did your audience initially respond to your offer? And what was the original purpose of that offer, right? Mm-hmm. And where and how many times was your offer marketed? Mm-hmm. Yo, I'm going to be trill about this. Some people think that social media is a game. It's not a game. People are making millions of dollars on it. And the reason why you aren't is because you're too busy worrying about Mima and your auntie and all of them and how are they going to think about my little business. Who cares? You take that social media scheduling software and you make sure that when you have an offer, you are posting it at least 7 to 12 times. Because guess what? Psychology says that it takes 7 to 12 times for a human to see something before they make a decision about it. Wow. How many times? Are you hiding your offers? Because a lot of people will say that. A lot of people will be like, girl, I didn't even know you were doing that. Okay? So 7 times. Got it. Make sure that 7 to 12 times it's showing up. And it doesn't have to show up the same exact way. Do the same strategy I was saying before. Different captions, different content, same purpose. Okay? 7 to 12 times. All right? Don't give up on it until you hit those numbers. And also, just see how people initially responded. People, and no answer is an answer to y'all. Okay? Yeah. If they liked it or something, there's hope. You can repurpose that for another initiative, another function. Okay. So this is cool. This is where the innovation happens. This is my very favorite part. So you're not reinventing the wheel here, guys. You're improving the durability of it. Okay. So I'm speaking to. Hold on 1 second.
Get your drink, girl. You're talking a lot. You're dropping some wisdom over here.
I'm speaking to women who feel like they're in a saturated industry. You're not, honey. There's no such thing. Let me tell you why.
Right.
Let me tell you why. Nobody can do you like you do you, okay? And here's where you can do you. And here's where it counts to do you. Customer experience. Look it up, learn it, live it, okay?
Experience.
The reason why people choose to go to the Ritz-Carlton as opposed to the Motel 6 is because Ritz-Carlton really focuses on customer experience.
That's right.
Like when you're going on vacation, I mean, I've never been to any of these places, but like the places I go to, they greet me with a margarita or some champagne.
They do.
And like, okay, their customer experience is on
there.
point.
From the moment you get on their property, you know you're there.
Okay. And that's how people need to know you. They need to understand that like the minute I'm with this girl, I'm in good hands. And so when you communicate that with people and you give it to people enough for them to know you for it, you're golden, girl. You're good. Because people will pay more for people they trust and they know are going to give them consistent quality, period. Okay?
So we have about 11 minutes. We have okay, good.
We're going, okay, revalue, repurpose, rebrand, okay? You're gonna have to take the value of what you had before and change the function. Repurpose. Change up the platforms that you're communicating, things like that. Change up the content, all of that other good stuff. Change up the pricing. And rebrand. Call it something new, boo. Call it something
rename
new.
it. Just rename it.
Okay. And the last but not least, so you need to reintroduce it, and that's going to give you authority. And these are 3 different stages, and these stages all take time. It's not like bam, bam, bam. These stages take time. So you're going to have to reintroduce it, and that's going to build some authority. Do some workshops, give some ebooks out, do some lead generation like that, okay? So people know you for this new thing. You're going to get some lead generation after you're consistent with that. And people are going to build trust after you nurture them and give them the customer experience after they're onboarded with you and land on your list or land in your membership or wherever, right? And then, do the most TV. And then, okay, so sales, investment. You need to make people feel really, really, really good about investing in you. And so that means, again, you cannot be lazy. Any kind of negative feeling you would feel about spending the amount of money you're asking people to spend, you eliminate it.
Wow.
Because 9 times out of 10, we are our ideal client. I'm sorry, but women, we mostly create something because we haven't ourselves had it, right? So think about it like, if I want a really cute purse and I've saved $500 for this purse, but they talking about like $25 in shipping and handling, baby girl, listen, no come from me. So I know that if I'm selling expensive purses, there's always going to be free shipping with my luxury purses. There's always going to be free shipping.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so take yourself through that customer journey, that checkout experience, and make sure that like there's no backing out. There's no way that they can back out. There's like, really, really don't do that.
All right. Wow. So just to summarize, I know you covered some really great things. Yes. So just kind of go over what you went over in a bullet point again.
Okay, so if you have spent money in your business, if you have spent sweat equity in your business, meaning time, if you have felt like you have failed in a project in your business, you have not. You just need to do your research. You need to audit your platforms. You need to audit your projects. Perfect. You need to figure out how your audience responded to it, and based off of that research, repurpose and rebrand that project. All right? Build a strong marketing strategy around it so that you can get sales, okay? But understand that it's going to take trust and authority, but more than anything, if you are dealing in a saturated market, you have to have an extremely unique customer experience journey. From the minute they get onto your website or wherever they're landing to buy from you, even if it's in person with you,
right,
to the minute that they're checking out, giving you your money, they need to feel so freaking good about it. Okay?
to creating just an unforgettable customer experience is key. That is such a great. So how do people reach you if they want to sign up for your e-guides, your workshops, and everything that you do?
Okay, yeah. So we have tons and tons of beta guides that are out right now that are changing in price next quarter. So I really encourage you guys to take advantage of those. And what's really cool about them, we're donating them to ethical, service-based nonprofits like Project Beauty. So I'm pretty excited about it. And so really take advantage of those. Follow us on Bold Babes Co. But if you really want to get into all of that, go to www.boldbabes.co. Thank you guys.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for coming on, dropping so much information.